So let's talk hunting down rare collectibles. Now, before we begin, some caveats and definitions before we get started. Just a disclaimer, the suggestions being discussed in this video is not to be used. I repeat, it is not to be used or undertaken during a quarantine period or a lockdown situation where everything is closed, businesses are closed, and we are all being asked to stay home. Please only use some of the suggestions in this video when businesses return, when lockdowns have been lifted, and quarantine is no longer in effect. Rare items we're talking about is basically is limit items in limited amounts or produced in limited quantities or artificially reduced in quantities because there's a lot of demand for it and a lot of people are buying it up. A lot of scalpers are hoarding it, a lot of hoarders are just picking it up, so there's an artificial shortage of the product. So whichever the case, there is a shortage or limited allocation for the product per store. My years of experience of hunting, I've come up with about 5 suggestions that you can undertake when you're trying to get these hard to find collectibles. Okay, let's get started. Number 1, do your homework, which means you have to find out which shops have it, which shops will get it, which shops have pre-orders and will most likely get stocks for it. Find out when their deliveries arrive so you can plan your trips. Find out if the product has a street date, because some exclusives, despite being only available for certain conventions or events, also are being released in some stores. For instance, the Funko Pops, some Marvel exclusives from Hasbro, some Star Wars, Transformers, and all that. They do get released in other channels. So find out if it has a street date or an on-shelf date, because that will save you a lot of heartache and a lot of useless trips going to and from the stores or ordering online. Okay. Before we continue, again, I wanted to stress this is hunting. Okay, this is like physically hunting for the items and not necessarily hunting for them online. You can do so online, but this focuses mainly on hunting and brick and mortar, which should only take place only when there is no quarantine or lockdown or when businesses are going back on and back to business. Okay. Number 2, make friends. It's always beneficial in the long run to be nice and not to be rude to the merchandisers, to the retailers, the hobby shops. You can talk to the store managers and all that. And this is not a very utilitarian type of suggestion, like you're just going to be friendly because you want to get your stuff. Actually make friends. There are a lot of nice people out there, in case you didn't know. Some people actually work in establishments that sells toys, and you can actually make a lot of friends. I've done that. I actually have a lot of friends in toy stores, some staff in toy stores, and even if they no longer work for the toy store, like this buddy of mine, he used to work for a high-end department store in the toy section in Rustan's. It's a very high-end department store. A couple of years ago, he quit his job, and he's now a mechanic working for a garage where I incidentally have my car fixed. And I saw him, and he's like, "Hey, bud, what's up? How you doing? I mean, you still collecting and all that?" So genuinely make friends. Don't just make friends because you want something, because it's going to show. If you're really friendly, people, there are nice people out there, and it doesn't hurt to be nice. Number 3, strategize and plan your hunt. Don't just go on a whim, like, okay, it's going to drop soon. I think it's already dropped in my area. I'm going to go hunting for it. No, you have to set a plan. That plan should involve which stores to go, specifically what time you want to go to and time of the week when the deliveries arrive. Don't just go there randomly. Make sure you've done your homework and then strategize a perfect route so that you don't waste any time going back and forth here and there, and stick to that plan. And it helps. It kind of might seem obsessive compulsive behavior to just do that. It might be too nitpicky and all that, but sometimes it does help to strategize, especially if you're looking at going through several stores in your area or maybe outside your area. It does help to strategize and plan. Number 4, Once you find that item that everyone's been looking for or you've been looking for, that's in limited quantities. Do not hoard or get everything. I don't have to say this all the time or stress the importance of this. Leave a bit for others to find. It's not just because, karma, you're afraid that, you do something bad things gonna happen to you and all that, but it's just the right thing to do. Get only what you need. Okay, if you only get what you need, then everybody can get what they need. Okay, leave some for others to find. If you need more than one piece, sure, I understand that. You want to keep one in box, you want to keep one for display, and you want to open up one. Fine. I think three should be the limit. I mean, three is reasonable. Two, three, reasonable if you want more than one. But getting like 11 or 12 pieces of the same kind, I mean, some people will tell me, well, I'm army building Boba Fett or I'm army building Soundwaves. I mean, come on. Really? I mean, Hasbro is already releasing, finding ways for army builders to get their stuff, like the AIM, the Hydra Soldier, and I'm sure AIM Trooper is coming. The Stormtrooper, I'm sure, is coming. There are ways to get solid packs of these things, but seriously, if it's something like a Professor Xavier, you're generally not going to army build a Professor Xavier, and just get one, two, or maximum of three. And lastly, once you've gone through your route, your plan, and all that, you found the stuff, make sure you try and provide some accurate and comprehensive intel for other fellow collectors. You can do it online. Everybody's on social media, I presume. I mean, you're probably on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or some sort of social media. Make sure you provide and help out other people, because it's not just utilitarian, again, as I said, that you help others and you're expecting others to help you. It's not so much as that, but rather it will help others strategize their hunting plans and all that. If you've gone to a store and you've picked up the last piece and you tell them, people are not going to visit that store for some time. They're going to wait for restocks and all that. It'll save people the trouble. And it's just genuinely the right thing to do, to help out a fellow collector. We're all in this together. I mean, I don't think there is a toy line or collecting that's there's only one person collecting it. Maybe there is, but most toy lines, there's a community that collects it, and it's for the best interest of everyone. It will help each other out. So that's it. Those are my advice for hunting down rare items, or rare, quote unquote, rare collectibles. Somebody was asking me a while ago, and this is a bit controversial for me. In the Philippines, there is such a thing as pasabay. Pasabay means, it's a play on words. Pasabay means, can I go along with you? And then if you change the buy into buy, it's like a English Filipino word, pasabay. Can you buy something for me as you're passing along? Uh, Normally, I don't encourage it. Because a lot of times when people ask you to buy stuff, in my experience, they're going to say, hey, did you already buy that for me? No, I'm sorry, I don't need it anymore because I already got one here, and I'm not gonna get it. And it's a shame because you already spent for it, and now you've got two or three of these things that you don't really need, and because some guy asked you on a whim to buy for him, but he's not gonna get it because he found it cheaper somewhere else and all that. So I don't know. I totally agree we should help each other out, but I still think the best way to help each other out is to provide accurate, comprehensive intel in the shops that you've been through your hunt. Now, if it's a close friend, if it's your brother or your sister or your mom, your dad, or your son or something, and they want you to buy something for them, maybe because family or very extremely close friends, maybe you can do an exception. But if it's some just random stranger online, or a fellow member of the community who's not really that good of a friend of yours and just asking you, can you buy this stuff for me? I would really caution against it, because chances are 8 out of 10 times they don't end up getting it, in my experience. So pass a buy at your own risk. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. If you did, please let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Have you ever hunted something and been very successful? What are your techniques, methods you want to share with the community? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time on this channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.